Good Monday morning and welcome to the Millionaire Mind Book Club. It is Monday. I said that, right? A new week, a new month, December the 4th. Right, this is our first our first book club of December, our first book club day of December, and a new book, The Slight Edge by Jess Olson. This is not a new book, but a new to the club, right? Because we just finished up No Limits by John Maxwell. And the slide, this is this book means a lot. So Jess Olson was one of Darren Hardy's mentors, and you'll notice if you have read The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, then you'll recognize a lot of the concepts because they came from this book. Jess Olson starts out by telling a story about being in the airport in Phoenix early in the morning, finding a shoe shine stand, 6:30 in the morning, he says, finding a shoe shine stand. The lady that is shining shoes is there, and she's reading a book, some novel. I don't know if even he doesn't even say, but some novel, nothing special, waiting on a customer. And so he comes up and he sits down, and she starts to shine her shoes. She starts to shine his shoes. She puts down her book. She's friendly. She's happy. She talks to all the airport employees. It's early morning, and so they're all coming to work. She talks to them all. She knows who they are. They know who she is. Turns out she's been shining shoes in this same spot in the airport for more than 5 years. And he says he couldn't help but wonder what her life would have been like if she had taken a different path 5 years ago. Right? She was well-spoken. She carried herself well. She was friendly. She was happy. And he said, with different clothes, a little bit of attention to her hair, he said she could easily pass for a successful business person. A little bit of stereotype in there, but then he says he noticed that the book she was reading was some novel, something just to pass the time, right? And he said, what if instead of spending 10 or 15 minutes here and there in between customers, sinking into the pages of these forgettable words of the novel, she had spent the last 5 years reading books that were life-changing books? What if she had been reading Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, or the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, or David Bach's Smart Women Finish Rich? Where would she be? He thought, where would she be today? She was a hard worker. She was good with people. She knew how to read, obviously, and she liked to do it. But she was spending her time reading stuff that didn't make a lot of difference in her life, right? Spending her life building other people's dreams, not her own. I don't know. Maybe that was her. Maybe the shoe shine stand was her business, and maybe that. Who knows how much money she made, So he's stereotyping a little bit, but nonetheless, actually, he's talking to her about shining shoes, trying to put her daughter through college, or not through college, but he says she wanted to give her daughter the uniform and the trip to Dallas, so she probably a high school cheerleader or something, band member, something, right? He said she wanted more. It was plain to see, but why didn't she have it? Right? And then he tells another story, right? He just wondered why this woman in this place at this time, right? And so then he talks about a story about the beach bum, and he was born and raised in Albuquerque, New Mexico. His dad died when he was 11. And in school, he just didn't he didn't apply himself. Teachers said he was slow, and so he went along with that. Right, he went along with that. Um, he said he begged his way into college at University of New Mexico, and took his C average to a D average. And then when spring break came, everybody went to Daytona Beach, and he said, "I can do better than that." I quit school and moved there, right? And so he became a beach bum. He said he lifted weights, chased girls, let his hair grow long. And he got a job at the Orlando Country Club, cutting grass on the golf course. And he said one day, as he was cutting the grass, he stopped to watch the wealthy club members playing golf on the grass that he had cut. And as he watched them, he thought, why is it that they're over there riding in their golf carts and I'm over here working? Why are they putting and I'm cutting? He said, I'm as good as they are. How do they get to have it 10 times better than me? Are they 10 times better than me, or are they 10 times smarter than me? Or do they work 10 times harder? And he said, whatever it was, just like happens in lots of people's lives, he said he found himself at a fork in the road, right? What he calls this point that he now refers to as the day of disgust, right? The moment of impact that we hit in our lives where we face circumstances and we're forced to make a decision to change, right? And so he quit, loaded everything back into his car, and took off back to Albuquerque, right? Got back in college, and ended up first in his class, right? First in his class, fresh out of college. He went to, he said he became one of the youngest international airport managers in the country, got recruited by Texas Instruments. He wanted to be in management, but they said, if you want to be in management, you have to start in sales. And he hated the idea of sales. A lot of people hate the idea of sales. But he said corporate America was not for him. And he decided to start this solar energy company, and didn't know anything about solar energy. But anyway, he made this smart decision, right? Remember, solar took off, and the government was paying everybody to, was giving tax breaks and tax incentives, and everybody was doing solar. And he said he was one of the top 20 companies, the fifth largest solar air energy company in America, on top of the world. And then the one thing that is constant in this world, right, is change. Times changed, tax laws changed. Before he knew what was happening, he said he lost everything, gone back to zero and below, owing more money than he thought he could ever hope to make again. Anyway, it's just this. It's this roller coaster, right? He said for the first time in his life, he began to see that over the years, this roller coaster career, he had gone through a rich sequence of experience that held the secrets to success as well as the secrets to failure, had proven himself, had gone from being a beach bum to corporate America to owning one of the top five largest companies. And now, boom, he was right back to zero, right? So he had proven it to himself. He could do it, right? And beyond any shadow of doubt, he said the depths of failure that simple daily errors in judgment could produce. He proved that too, right? And he'd also seen what simple daily disciplines could accomplish. He just didn't realize what he knew, right? So he goes back to the airport story, right? He goes back to the airport story and back to the shoe shine woman finishing up his shoes, and he starts looking at people, right? He starts looking at people in the airport. Do you ever do that? I love to do that. I go to the airport and I never worry about delays or anything like that, right? I watch the people, right? But he said he watched the people and he sees all these people that are so down, right? That say things like, oh, if, I hate my job, if only, if only. And he says, why is everybody so down? He said, everything that these people need to know to change their lives for the better is already available. Think about that. Every single thing that you need to know to change your life for the better is already available. All the information you could possibly need to put you on the path to extraordinary success and fulfillment is out there, right? It's in books, it's in DVDs, it's in CDs, it's in workshops. There are people to help you, right? Living resources to guide you, to be your mentor, your teacher, your coach, your allies. But all the information is there, all the resources are there, and everybody that's out there, everybody who's here listening on the book club wants to succeed. The question is, are you doing it? Well, this book is designed to tell you the slight edge, right? The slight edge, right? If only you were aware of the slight edge. If only you knew what it was doing in your life. The slight edge works all the time. It either works for good or it works for bad. We're going to talk more about that, right? If only we were all making the right choices, the simple little disciplines that could change our life forever. If you could do that, where would you be 5 years from today? Right? So this book is not just another self-help book, right? This is Jess Olson's words. Not just more good information. It's not just another self-help book packed with the new best way of doing things, right? You don't need the new best way. Nobody needs that. All of the new and better information is already available and has been for years, right? The shoe shine lady's not there anymore, he says. He's looked for her. He doesn't know where she is or what happened to her. But he does know this. She's not alone. There are millions upon millions of people everywhere he goes, everywhere you look, whose lives are not at all what they wish, not at all what they yearn for, not even close. And yet, it could be. Right? So he says, I dedicate this book to the shoeshine woman, to her daughter, to her daughter's cheerleading team, and to everyone else in the world who wants more. He dedicates this book to you and to those who've already put the slight edge into practice. Right? And so that's our introduction. Right? That's our introduction. We will get into the chapters. Right? There's a couple of there's a foreword. We're not gonna really read the foreword. Talks about how the book came about, right? We will cover the little idea of what the slight edge is, the paths to the slight edge, and then tomorrow we'll start with chapter 1. Right? If you have the book, there are 3 stories. Right? There are 3 stories. One is called The Water Hyacinth. One is called Two Frogs, and one is called The Choice. Read those, right? Read those today. It's super easy, right? Super easy. As a matter of fact, we'll just talk about them. We'll talk about them in the morning, right? So, all right. The Slight Edge by Jess Olson. Again, new book, new week, new month. We've got, today's the 4th, 27 days left. 27 days left in 2023. If you know somebody that could benefit from 15 minutes a day of a little bit of motivation, inspiration, self-help, invite them to join the Millionaire Mindset Book Club. Again, they streaming them live on YouTube, so you can watch anytime because they're posted up. So anyway, get out there, make today the best day ever so far, and we'll see you tomorrow morning right here, Millionaire Mindset Book Club.